wrap up with Aaron Rodgers. So it's official. He's going to the Jets. What do you think this news means for the 49ers? I mean, in terms, I guess, the quarterback market, but also the NFC competition. Like, this feels like the end of the Packers as a threat to the Niners, if they even were, unless you think Jordan Love is good.
Yeah, Packers, man. I think they're going to struggle this year. That's one thing it means for the Packers, right? I think the Lions and the Bears are going to be on the top of that division. As far as the Jets, man, it could really mean good things for the Jets, I think. I know a lot of people aren't sold on or they just turned off by Aaron Rodgers' attitude, but I think Aaron Rodgers mixed with Saleh and the Jets could be a really good thing for those guys. I expect them to make the playoffs. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a big plus for the Jets. It'll be interesting him in that New York media based on his kind of like personality and politics versus the New York media. I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic. But I think the Jets are going to be a factor this year for sure. I think it means the Packers got to start over. Unless Jordan Love is somebody that I'm unaware of. I know I've seen some good things from Jordan Love in recent games, but I don't know if he's going to be able to step up and fully replace an Aaron Rodgers. But what it means for the 49ers is we don't have to talk about Aaron Rodgers to the 49ers anymore. And I think what John Lynch talking about, no Lamar Jackson, both those things kind of mean these are the quarterbacks we got: Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and possibly a rookie quarterback.
Okay, I'm just looking into the compensation again. I just want to be clear. The Jets traded the 13th pick this year, 2 later round picks, and a conditional second round pick next year. Okay? In exchange for Rodgers and the 15th pick and a later round pick. So essentially, they swap picks in round 1 this year. The Jets move up 2 spots in round 1. That's it, which is like 100 points on the trade value chart, which is like a late third round pick.
Yeah.
And a conditional 2. So they essentially traded Aaron Rodgers for a late third this year and a conditional 2 next year. I mean, the Niners could have done that.
Yeah.
If they wanted to.
I don't think it would.
They had that.
I think that the Packers found themselves in a situation where they didn't really have much choice, right? Like if they didn't get something for him, they might have got nothing for him because he decided he's not going to play for the Packers this year. So they kind of were backed in the corner. I think that's why everything stalled out for a while there. You know, the Jets wanted they wanted him. The Packers wanted a lot in return, but the Jets were like, hey, man, he wants to play for us. He's not going to play for you. So they were just patient with it. And the Packers were trying to get what they could at this point. It really sets the bar kind of weird for a Hall of Fame quarterback for that amount.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the Niners could have traded for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he didn't want to be here, but what he ended up going for, they could afford. And John Lynch said today that they're not interested in Lamar Jackson because they have Brock Purdy. So if Lamar Jackson went to the Super Bowl this year, if Aaron Rodgers went to the Super Bowl this year, you got to come back and to the Niners and be like, once again, you're not taking this position seriously. While you're looking for the next Brad Johnson, you're turning down MVPs. Literally. 2 guys who have won MVPs in the NFL. You're like, we're good. We like this guy instead, man. Like, you better be right.
3.
And I get with Rodgers because I'm so tired of Rodgers. But I kind of like Lamar Jackson.
I would take them both. And I mean, you gotta forget about Tom Brady.
Yeah,
right?
that's
They're passing all that up again. They passed up Tom Brady for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Stafford.
Now they're passing up Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson for Brock Purdy. It's just weird evaluation, man. Hopefully one day they're right about one of these evaluations, but they haven't been so far, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want at the quarterback position? Like, they keep changing their mind. It was originally like, Jimmy's good, but we need better. We need someone who transcends our system. And then that didn't work out with Trey right away, and he got hurt, and Jimmy came back, and he started playing well with Christian McCaffrey, and there's a report that the Niners were actually going to give him a long-term contract. That was like the week before he got hurt. Then he got hurt, and they saw how good Brock Purdy is, and they didn't expect that. And now all of a sudden they're being like, oh, well, we really want a cheap quarterback room. That's what's really important to us. Like, that's not what you said when you brought in Trey and you kept Jimmy for a year and you said what's important is a strong quarterback. They keep changing their story about what's important for them at the quarterback position when, frankly, they still haven't found a franchise guy. That's the important thing.
It's because they don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They don't know. They want Brad Johnson or they want I don't know. They don't know what they want, obviously, because it's different every time, right? Like Trey Lance has nothing in common with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They're all different. Like Kirk Cousins is a different type of guy. Like there's no outline for what kind of quarterback Kyle Shanahan wants because he seems to draft different kinds of guys.
We don't know. Do you want Trey Lance, Josh Allen? Are you shooting for the fences? In which case, why weren't you interested in Patrick Mahomes? Why aren't you interested in Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers right now? Or did you want Mac Jones? Did you trade up for Mac Jones? Did the fan base revolt? Did a lot of people call you racist? Did your owner call you into the office and be like, dude, this is going to make us look really bad. We can't take Mac Jones. Is there anyone else you like? Was Trey Lance your second choice? Because if he was, wouldn't it explain everything? I mean, if you never, your heart is never in your second choice. And I feel like the Niners have never had their heart into this project, which doesn't make any sense. It's like you traded everything. You spent 3 years worth of first round picks. You're drafting him again in 4 days. And you always acted like, I mean, would you give up on your first choice after 4 starts? Would the Niners have given up on Mac Jones after 4 starts if he didn't start 4-0? If he was 2-2 after 4 starts, would the Niners have given up on Mac? You see what I'm saying? And that's why I feel so bad for Trey being here, man. He needs to go to a team that really, really, really believes in him. And I wonder if that team even exists after what the Niners have done to his career.
And here's the thing is, why would you trade 3 first-round draft picks and a third, or trade 2, spend 3 and a third
Trade
for your second choice? Like, none of it makes.
Why?
If it was his second choice, why the hell would you do that?
Because you traded it up, you thinking you were going to get Mac Jones. And then over the next month, the noise got louder and louder and louder. Jed buckled. And the whole organization buckled. Like, look, we don't want to be looked at as racists. I mean, and also it wasn't just that. It was the fact that you traded up from 12 to 3 for a quarterback who ended up going 15th. Like, forget race. The trading up for Mac Jones was dumb. You could have stayed at 12 for Mac Jones. Yeah, so Jones, all of that looked incompetent and it looked scandalous to take that guy. And I think the Niners were going to do it. And I think at the end they were like, you know what? Fine. We won't. We'll go with our second choice. And anytime imagine if you say to your parents, I want to date this girl. And they're like, no, for whatever reason. No, you can't. It's going to make our family look bad. Choose anyone else. Man, your heart isn't in that. You're looking for a reason to break up with the next girl. And I feel like that could have happened. And in which case, man, I feel bad for that next girl. And I feel bad for Trey because that's your own problem with your own family. You got to work out. Work it out.
I hope that's not what happened. I also think that a lot of what's going on is John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have never really seen eye to eye on what they want from a quarterback. And maybe possibly both of them, neither one really know. Neither one really know, but they disagree. Right? They think I have a
simple explanation.
Yeah.
Evaluating quarterbacks is really hard and neither one's good at it.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Definitely possible.
I suck at it. I tell you right now. I mean, look at the guys I like. I love Kellen Mond. I love Kyle Trask. I love Trey Lance. I mean, I suck at it. It's super freaking hard. I think they may not be that good at it either. How about that? And then what's even harder, once you've identified the guy, which they can't seem to do, otherwise they would have drafted Patrick Mahomes, developing him, actually coaching and teaching the position, not just giving him a scheme and players. That's one thing, but actually teaching how to do all the little techniques that are required to play it. That is really hard too. Walsh could do both.
Isn't Steve Slowick the guy who got Purdy, right? And Steve's now with Houston.
No. The scout found him. Bobby Slowick, they're brothers. Scout.
Okay.
I think Steve's still here in scouting capacity.
Okay, so Bobby Slowick's the one. Okay. Do you think
Big Bob,
Steve might be helping out Bobby in Houston with who they're going to be picking?
How do you call up your brother and say like, "Hey man, who should I take?" But I can't tell you, bro. Sorry, you're the enemy now. Click.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they pick.
It shall be interesting. It is Monday. On Thursday will be round 1. John Lynch says he doesn't anticipate doing much, but he also laughed and touched his face. So you never really know with John Lynch when he's bluffing.